America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll move into our consensus agenda.
I'll move we approve the vouchers and payrolls for the past month in the amount of $994,686.38, plus the minutes from our last meeting.
Second.
And if anybody's watching, Steve Stichter is remote this evening. It's been moved by Steve, seconded by Wes. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Any patrons' comments this evening?
Nothing at this time.
No? All right, we will move on to personnel.
All right, I recommend the personnel agenda. We're going to go ahead and lump these together, so if there are any questions or any clarification is needed, I'll be more than happy to do that with our patrons and or the board. But just for sake of voting on those individually, we'll kind of lump those together based on the topics. So I would recommend the approval of the resignation of Liska Schilling, Annie Klein, Adam Heckerman from the girls varsity tennis, Blake Shorey from girls varsity golf, Lana Hostrauser from 6th grade girls basketball, Jody Vermillion from 6th grade volleyball, resignation of Susan Dietzel, drama and music production, Tabitha Lysick, preschool, Shannon Houlihan, varsity softball, Rick Collins, high school instructional assistant, and that is the first section.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved by Kevin, seconded by Ken. Any discussion?
I just want to thank them for obviously their efforts. Many of those individuals stepped up to coach certain things that were still void of a coach. So I just appreciate that. Liska for years of service. Annie has a lot of great things to say, trying to spend the last year that she can with her family. So just a lot of different scenarios there, but I just thank them for their service of our students.
Okay, all in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
I'd like to recommend the approval of Mason McIntyre as an athletic director consultant. I want to thank the board. In my transition to the superintendency, I was given the opportunity to continue to have conversations with Donna Burrows, and I just felt that that was an integral opportunity to be able to bounce things off of her and really feel supported and get a third party's look at that. And I want to provide the same thing for Rick as he joins us beginning on July 1. So we'll give him a small token of appreciation, and I would love to recommend that.
I move we approve that. Mason as a athletic director consultant.
I second that.
Anita, I'm going to recuse myself from any discussion or the vote on that.
All right, any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 4-0.
I'd like to recommend the approval of Mark Elliott, Ryan Kaufman, Ty Ferry as junior high baseball coaches, which obviously takes place this summer. Ashley Faulkner as junior high counselor. Diane Murphy, 4th grade teacher. Raquel Tuttle as color guard instructor. Courtney Heckerman, high school cafeteria. Chelsea Headington, elementary cafeteria. Michaela Odell, elementary cafeteria. Aaron Norris, high school volunteer football coach. Kennedy Kroll as the junior, senior high school social studies teacher. And we'll go ahead and do those for right now. Those are hires.
So moved.
Second. You can have it.
Second. It's been moved by Kevin, seconded by Ken. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
One of those that we'll do separately is the approval, the recommendation of the approval of the 2021-2022 coach recommendations. Oftentimes we do that for the varsity coaching positions. And so those were listed in your board packet. So our varsity coaches, so we'll go ahead and do that one separately.
I move we accept those as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Ken, seconded by Wes. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
I recommend the approval of the maternity leave for Jody Overmeyer, the contract for
Vermillion.
Overmeyer, what was it? I know Jody Overmeyer, but Vermillion, sorry. Contract for Josh Van Houten, social worker. Approve the contract for Cheryl Hostetler, our speech pathologist. And we'll go ahead and keep those lumped together.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by Kevin, seconded by Wes. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Good with other business? Recommend the approval of permission to advertise the annual financial report. And we'll go ahead and recommend along with that the Misc annual food procurement for dairy and bread.
I move we do that.
Second.
Been moved by Steve, seconded by Kevin. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
I recommend the approval of the Triton blueprint for reentry, very similar to what we did last year. We are directed by the state to come up with a reentry plan. I'm proud to say we've been in school for 175 days this school year, so our reentry plan looks very similar to the one last year. It does leave caveats to, we understand that the jurisdiction for us being in school and some of the rules and expectations are gonna fall on our decision making for that, and I will come with a recommendation for that. But this blueprint simply outlines many of the things we've already done, many of the things that we hope to move forward on, and just to clarify that, as far as masks are concerned, social distancing, those type of things, we will definitely clarify that as we get a little bit closer to the school year. We know that July 1 kind of marks Indiana's full opening when it comes to schools, so we'll make sure that the July board meeting we give direction on that. We're going to hear colleges come out with kind of what their expectations are. That happened this last couple weeks. Some schools are starting to come out with kind of what they think is going to be their expectation in August, and I would like to do the same for our community to make sure that they're prepared for that. So, but at this time, I would like to recommend the approval of the blueprint for reentry on 8/11/2021.
I move we approve that
Second.
reentry plan.
Been moved by Wes, seconded by Kevin. Any other discussion? All. Motion passes 5-0.
The next few items we typically like to do in June, so we're prepared for registrations, just to make sure that we get the information out there and make sure it's all correct before we start handing out to parents. One of those items I think is very important for our community to know is every student will be receiving free meals once again for next school year. So that is covered through the federal government and a lot of the incentives that they're giving out at this time. Adult lunch prices, they're not quite as lucky. Those will actually increase, and we went to the minimum in which they have to be, and you can see that's $2.50 for breakfast and $4.60 for lunch. So that is a significant increase, but they don't get the same deal there. Elementary handbook, high school handbook, the elementary textbook rental, and the junior high school textbook rental is also in this area. I know we had board members representing on those, and I think Mr. McCann and Mrs. Cook shared those changes in our board packet, and obviously we'll be getting that information out, kind of a cheat sheet, a Cliff Notes version of some of those changes. I do appreciate the time that was put into those. I think we cleaned up a lot of things this year, and I would recommend the approval of those items.
I move we approve all of these from the blueprint down through the textbook rental.
We already did blueprint.
Oh, we did blueprint? Okay. Do the student
meals. There you
I'm so excited, I'd like to do it again. Okay, free student meals.
Second.
Yep, we got it. It's been moved by Ken, seconded by Steve. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
The next two items deal with transportation. I'd like to recommend providing transportation by the corporation for the 21 Marshall County 4-H members going to Camp Amigo, just as a goodwill gesture, trying to be a good community member to help them get there and get there safely, and we trust our bus drivers to do that. I would also, as we had discussed, I want to say it's been close to maybe 2 years ago, it might have been my first year, in the first year of superintendency, talking about possibly waiving the transportation costs for ECA, extracurricular activities, and field trips. So not charging our students for those items or our athletic department for those items. Specifically this year, with the pinch on gate receipts, it's been a difficult road to hoe and being able to pay that, plus the fact that we know we have carried over money from the transportation department in years past. So I just feel like that's a good gesture. We said, let's give that a year and make sure we're not going to go. I think Mr. Boyer said, let's just make sure we're not going back and forth on that, charging, not charging. We know why we did that in 2012, because we needed to transfer some money, but at this time, I feel like we're in good standing. Mr. McFarland and I have had many discussions about that, and we just feel like it's the right move at this time.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Kevin, seconded by Wes. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
The next item, I'd like to recommend the approval of the new wage scales for Triton School Corporation non-certified staff. So that is going to be an increase in wages of approximately 3% for our non-certified staff members. Our certified staff members, we really wait until we do go through bargaining, which is usually around September 15th. So at this time, for payroll purposes, we would like to go ahead and approve those wage scales.
I move we approve the wage scales.
I think I will recuse myself.
I'll second that.
Okay. It's been moved by Wes, seconded by Steve. All in favor, or any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 4-0.
I'd like to recommend the approval of the following capital project items that were part of our capital projects budget this year, but just obviously bids have been given or quotes have been given, and these are the ones we would recommend. So CNS masonry restoration for the high school ceiling grid, clean and masonry for, actually that's for the tuck pointing, I apologize. S&K construction and Madison acoustics quote, those are both for the ceiling grids at the high school. That's been a phase in project, so we did a lot of that last year. This is the next phase of that. And then last but not least, kind of out of the realm of the same topic, but I'd like to recommend the 5th grade fundraisers of t-shirt sale, Texas Roadhouse, and Hacienda
Cards.
fundraisers.
I move we approve these capital projects and also the fundraiser.
Second.
So moved by Ken, seconded by Kevin. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. All right, on to superintendent's report.
All right, I tried to keep this a little bit shorter since our agenda was so long, so I don't want to come across as not appreciative, but we'll keep this one moving. So continuous improvement, building level leaders are in the process of making quality improvements to our teaching staff, handbooks, schedules, as you approved tonight, doing everything they can to finish the year strong, finish it out strong, and begin to plan for a successful 2021-22 school year. We met today to talk about some of the successes that we will share Friday at our board retreat, but then also some future planning on what went well, what do we need to improve on, and how can we continue to make progress when it comes to continuous improvement. I just want to congratulate, I know each of you guys had the ability to be at the graduation yesterday. I just felt like it was a great ceremony, outstanding speeches from our salutatorians and valedictorians, and just I looked over at Nate and just simply said, this is why we do what we do. You know, and it just solidified that, and I appreciate their just kind words and their passion and just sharing that with others. Shared leadership summer school is going on. Right now we have approximately 100 students that are attending summer school. A common goal of providing Triton scholars with remediation and an extended school year while also getting routine maintenance and capital improvements completed in 9 weeks from the end of one year to the beginning of next takes shared leadership, right? Maintenance staff on one side of the building, students on the other side of the building, making sure people are safe, making sure that's all coordinated. That definitely takes some shared leadership. Social responsibility, we've been asked by Rediscover Bourbon to allow the Culpeper Merriweather Circus to utilize the north side of campus for the community event scheduled for June 22nd. So I would take any thoughts on that, but I felt like we've done that in the past, and that's something that we would be glad to show social responsibility and partnership with our community. The same night at the elementary school, we will be doing an EKG night. I want to thank the Lutheran Health Network for bringing that our way. Typically that's in Warsaw. Because we are a partner school, what they're trying to do is have those nights different places, so it does allow our community to have a little bit greater access to that. I think it's $9 for an EKG. We do need to have that RSVP, but I've posted that a couple times to make sure that we, Leslie Rohrball is the lady that's in charge of that, and you can RSVP with her, and I'll post that again tomorrow just to make sure everybody's aware of that. We plan to once again host the Bourbon Summerfest. I'll be posting something on that here in the next couple days, so we're excited about that. I'm with Mr. Berkey today, and we continue to move forward to try to provide our community with just an awesome outlet. That will be August 7th and 8th. On our grounds, so we're looking forward to that as well. Always a well-run event, and we look forward to partnering with him. Accountability, I posted this week in preparation, last week, in preparation for our Sunday graduation, and I just felt like I wanted to pay tribute to our students and our parents, so I'm going to go ahead and read this. On Sunday, June 13th at 2 p.m., the Triton School Corporation seniors accomplished a goal set some 18 years ago. They graduated from high school, something that seems so common and often taken for granted, but this is a milestone that needs celebrated. This day is not just about them. It was about the love, care, support, and encouragement, discipline, and courage that has gone into each individual. This is a celebration of scholars for sure, but it also is a celebration of our parents, our pastors, our aunts and our uncles, grandparents, mentors, teachers, coaches, and friends. The Triton School Corporation Board of Trustees, administrators, staff congratulate this class on this tremendous accomplishment, and we wish you the best as you live out your dreams of becoming your best. And we pray for your safety, success, and that you will strive to have a positive impact on those around you. So we're just so proud of our seniors and this awesome accomplishment. But I also want to reiterate the words of Mr. McCann in this ceremony is we don't want this to be their greatest accomplishment. So this is just a stepping stone, hopefully, to bigger and better things. So just an awesome ceremony. And I want to thank everybody that took time and effort put into that. Kim Stutzel was a huge help in that process, just making sure it was very organized and very well done. High expectations as we wrap up another school year. We quickly shift our focus to the 21-22 school year and promise that it brings. We're reviewing data and taking steps necessary to make up for lost instruction, both from the end of 2019 school year and throughout this year. Acquiring Pivot and NWEA, it will help us better focus on areas of need, provide clear expectations to our teachers, and better help provide even more focused instruction in the future. And last but not least, alignment. The administrative team and I met this afternoon, as I've already mentioned. We will have a board retreat on Friday to be able to have all of our leadership teams share out. So just excited for that opportunity to cast some vision for next school year, and hopefully just look forward to a smooth school year. So we can pray for that.
Thank you.
So be glad to take any questions if you have them.
One comment, one question. Comment, I think this year's graduates really appreciated that opportunity to select who they could walk in with.
I do too.
I thought that was, I've never heard of anybody allowing that.
Yeah,
I just thought alphabetical order was just kind of set in stone.
But that's what they did. I wondered.
They did. They were able to, and part of that was just a little bit of ownership on their end to say, you guys have earned this, and just do a good job, and you'll continue to be able to do that. So,
Question. Back to the circus.
yes,
Did they provide us some kind of proof of insurance?
I want to say they do provide us proof of insurance, but I will reach out to Carolyn on that to make sure, because that's who has communicated with me on that, and I will reach out to her on that.
Okay.
That's a great question.
Thank you. Do we have any patrons' comments this evening? No? All right. Move on to the building reports.
Okay, proof of insurance. Want to make sure I got that down. All right, I'm going to give building reports tonight. I simply met with, Mrs. Cook and Mr. McCann today and Mrs. LaSure. We had about a 2-hour meeting. I just simply said, you know what, enjoy this beautiful evening, and just asked them to give me the report so I could share out. So this is from Mrs. Cook. We completed our school year with several celebrations recognizing accomplishments such as 6th grade awards and recognition and preschool graduation. We were also able to honor our seniors as they did a walkthrough in caps and gowns. Hopefully we were able to provide future stories for our kids as they progress through the elementary school, and I think we heard that from one of our individuals that gave that speech, just how they remember that happening when they were there, and it gave them a future story, and now their day had come. Push carts and field day allowed the students to have some normal fun, even though they were slightly altered. Everyone's flexibility and extra work is appreciated. Summer school started last Monday, over 100 participants, as I mentioned earlier. This is the biggest response at each grade level that we have had in a number of years. Teachers are reinforcing grade level skills in reading and math while reading about fun themes such as hometown communities, animals, ancient Egypt, and ancient Rome. Grace Smith is also supporting some of these resource students in class and pulling them for extra instruction. Preschoolers are working on kindergarten readiness skills in order to prepare them for a smoother transition to kindergarten. We have 18 pre-K students who are here 8 to noon, and 13 pre-K students who are here all day as an extension of their regular preschool programming. June 25th will be our final day. Interviews for first grade teacher will take place on Thursday, and we will be meeting with 5 candidates. 5 third graders will be retaking iRead on June 22nd, which is the iRead makeup date. Mr. McCann reports out. Final report cards were mailed home last Thursday. The master schedule was shared with staff members before leaving for summer break. We have approximately 40 students taking summer courses through Indiana Online Academy, and he will be working with them this summer to make sure they meet the deadlines and complete their courses. Thanks to the school board and all the staff members who attended graduation on Sunday. Thanks to Orion Lemler, his crew for helping broadcast graduation. I would also like to thank Mr. Bruce Gephardt and the high school maintenance and custodial staff for getting the building ready and the gym set up for graduation. A special thank you to Kim Stetzel for all her help in planning and organizing graduation, and I am pleased with how graduation turned out, reinforcing and confirming what you guys had stated as well.
Thank you. If there's no other business, we'll move to adjourn at 7:21.